Jake and Ben had a tradition. Every Friday, they'd share a pizza, always arguing over the last slice. "It's mine," Jake would say. "No way, I called it first." Ben would counter, laughing. One day, Ben moved to another city. Life got busy, and the calls became less frequent. Months passed, then a year. One evening, Jake walked into their old pizza place. As he sat alone, the waiter placed a box in front of him. "From Ben," he said. Inside was a single slice and a note: "The last slice is yours, but only if you come visit me and claim it." Jake laughed, grabbed his phone, and called Ben. Some friendships may stretch across miles, but a small reminder is all it takes to bring them back together. On a cold January evening, Alex rushed into a diner after a long day. As he sipped his coffee, he noticed a homeless man sitting outside, shivering. Alex waved the man in and bought him a hot meal. The man hesitated but eventually sat down and ate in silence. Before leaving, he looked at Alex and said, "Thank you. You don't know what this means." Weeks later, Alex faced a rough day at work and missed his bus. Stranded, he decided to walk home. As he passed an alley, a group of men approached him, looking for trouble. Before he could react, a voice called out, "Leave him alone." It was the man he'd helped at the diner. The group scattered, and the man said, "You helped me when no one else did. I couldn't just watch." Alex realized a small act of kindness can come back to you when you need it most.
A poor woodcutter named Thomas lived in a small cottage by the forest. One day, while chopping down a tree, his axe slipped and fell into the river. Distraught, he sat by the bank, knowing he could not afford a new axe. Suddenly, a spirit appeared, holding a golden axe and offering it to Thomas. But Thomas refused, saying it wasn't his. The spirit then offered a silver axe, and Thomas again declined. Finally, the spirit brought forth his rusty iron axe, and Thomas gladly accepted. Impressed by his honesty, the spirit rewarded him with all three axes. This shows us honesty is always rewarded, even in difficult situations.
A young boy named Max was determined to climb the tall tree in his backyard. But when he reached the first branch, he froze. The height made him nervous, and doubts filled his mind. He thought about how many times he could fall and hurt himself. His older sister, watching from below, said, "Max, confidence doesn't mean you're not scared. It means you trust yourself to keep going, even when you're afraid." With her encouragement, Max took a deep breath and continued climbing, one branch at a time. Slowly, his fear lessened with each step. When he finally reached the top, he felt a rush of. At that time Max realized that confidence isn't about not being afraid, it's about taking the next step despite your fear.
Once, a young prince dreamed of being a great king. He thought ruling meant gold, power, and grand speeches. One day, while visiting a village, he saw a poor farmer struggling to pull his cart from the mud. The prince called his guards. "Help him," he ordered. The farmer smiled weakly. "Thank you, your highness. But sometimes, true leaders don't just command, they lead by example." The prince frowned but rolled up his sleeves. Together, they freed the cart. The farmer bowed. "You've shown strength, not just in your arms, but in your heart." When the prince became king, he ruled with kindness, earning the love of his people. He learned that true greatness isn't about power, it's about serving others.